Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we've got a special treat for all the collectors and treasure hunters out there. We're heading straight to the Big Apple, New York, for a coin that's flown a bit under the radar but could be worth a small fortune. I'm talking about the United States 2001 $quarter from New York, part of the iconic 50-state quarters program. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for the entire video to hear just how much this coin could be worth today. Now, let's rewind for a second. Back in the late 1990s, the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program to honor each of the 50 states, and every year, 5 different quarters were released, each showcasing a unique design representing a state. These quarters quickly became a hit with both collectors and the general public, sparking a coin-collecting frenzy across the country. The New York quarter, released in 2001, was one of the highlights of that series, featuring a design that pays homage to the state's rich history and iconic landmarks. On the reverse of the New York quarter, you'll find an image of the Statue of Liberty, one of the most recognizable symbols of freedom and democracy in the world. Beneath the statue, there's a depiction of the state's famous skyline, including the Empire State Building. The inscription reads, "The Empire State," reflecting New York's status as a symbol of opportunity and ambition. The entire design captures the essence of New York, from its historical significance to its modern-day prominence as a global metropolis. When this quarter first hit the market, it was just another piece of currency, circulating widely in daily transactions. But as time has passed, the New York 2001 quarter has become a coveted item among collectors, especially those who focus on state quarters and rare variations. You might be wondering, what makes this particular quarter so special? Well, the value of a coin is often determined by a few key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. While most of these New York quarters were produced in large numbers, there's one particular version that stands out, the one that was struck with a unique error. This error coin is what really captures the attention of serious collectors. You see, due to a slight minting flaw, some of the New York quarters from 2001 were produced with a distinctive feature, making them significantly rarer than their counterparts. These error coins are the ones that have caused such a stir in the collecting world, and they've become a sought-after item at auctions and from private collectors. But what exactly makes this error so valuable? It's a subtle but important difference. Some of the New York quarters were struck with a misalignment of the die, resulting in a slightly off-center image. This mistake is rare, and finding one in pristine condition is even rarer. Most of the New York quarters that were released into circulation were quickly used and have since become worn, making it even harder to find one in excellent condition. Now, let's talk about why condition matters so much. A coin that has been well preserved and shows little to no wear is much more valuable than a coin that has been heavily circulated. Coins with sharp details, no visible scratches, and no discoloration are highly prized by collectors. The New York quarter from 2001, particularly the error variety, is no exception. The better the condition of the coin, the higher its value. And if you happen to stumble upon one of these error coins in near-perfect condition, you could be sitting on a true treasure. So, how much could this New York 2001 quarter be worth? While a typical circulated quarter from the series might only be worth a few dollars, a rare error coin in uncirculated condition can fetch far more. In fact, some of these error New York quarters have sold for an impressive amount. Are you ready for this? If you have one of these rare error coins, it could be worth up to $41,000, yes, you heard that right, $41,000 for a single quarter. That's an incredible sum for a coin that was once just part of your pocket change. It's a testament to how valuable rare and well-preserved coins can be, especially when they have unique characteristics like minting errors. Now, you might be thinking, how can I tell if I've got one of these rare coins? Well, the first thing to look for is that off-center minting error. If the design looks slightly misaligned or the coin appears uneven, you might be holding onto something special. It's always a good idea to examine the coin closely under good lighting and, if possible, have it assessed by a professional coin grader to determine its exact value. It's important to remember that while not every 2001 New York quarter will be worth $41,000, finding one of these error coins could significantly boost your collection's value. And who knows, if you've got a stash of state quarters at home, you might just have a rare gem hiding in plain sight. So, if you're a collector or someone who enjoys treasure hunting in your spare time, make sure to check your pockets, your piggy banks, and any coin collections you've been holding on to. You never know what valuable surprises might be waiting for you. And who knows? That 2001 New York quarter you thought was just another piece of change might just be worth thousands of dollars. Top 2, we've got something special for you, a coin that might just be sitting in your collection or even tucked away in your spare change right now. We're talking about the United States Illinois 2003 quarter dollar. You might think it's just another piece of pocket change, but let me tell you, this coin could be worth way more than you might expect. Stick around to find out exactly how much this quarter could be worth and why it's gaining so much attention in the collecting world. To give you a bit of background, the Illinois quarter was released as part of the 50-state quarters program, which began in 1999. This program honored each of the 50 states by issuing a unique design for each state's quarter. The Illinois quarter, released in 2003, was one of the standouts of the series, and it features an iconic symbol of the state, the Great Chicago Skyline. In the design, you'll see a beautiful depiction of the famous skyscrapers, with the legendary Abraham Lincoln, a towering figure in American history, taking center stage. If you look closely, you'll also spot the Illinois state outline and the phrase, Land of Lincoln, a reference to Illinois being the home of one of the United States' most beloved presidents. At the time of its release, the Illinois quarter was just one of many quarters in circulation. It didn't stand out much among the hundreds of millions of coins produced by the U.S. Mint. But over time, certain versions of this coin have begun to catch the attention of serious collectors, especially when it comes to specific variations that hold significant value. What makes the Illinois 2003 quarter so special? Well, the value of any coin is determined by factors like rarity, demand, and condition. Although the Illinois quarter was minted in large quantities, certain error coins have emerged from the batch, and these are what really pique the interest of collectors. Errors can occur during the minting process, and they often result in variations of the coin's design. These error coins, while rare, can significantly increase the coin's value. The Illinois quarter, in particular, has seen a surge in demand among collectors due to a particular error that has become known as the double die variety. What is a double die error, you might ask? In simple terms, a double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, causing the image to appear doubled or slightly out of alignment. In the case of the Illinois quarter, this error affects the design, and you can clearly see the doubling effect on certain parts of the coin. It's most noticeable in the inscriptions, like the Land of Lincoln phrase, where the letters appear to be doubled or slightly offset. This unique feature makes the coin stand out from the standard issue quarters and creates a much rarer version of the coin. Finding a double die error coin in excellent condition is no small feat. Most coins that circulate in the economy quickly become worn, scratched, and damaged due to everyday use. But a coin that's been well preserved, especially one with a notable minting error, can be incredibly valuable. And that's where the real treasure lies. A pristine Illinois 2003 quarter with the double die error can fetch a significant amount of money. The rarer and better the condition of the coin, the higher its market value. Now, let's get to the exciting part. If you happen to have an Illinois 2003 quarter with the double die error in uncirculated or near perfect condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Hold on to your hats, because these rare coins have been known to sell for up to $38,000, yes, you heard me right, $38,000 for a single Illinois 2003 quarter. That's an extraordinary amount of money for a coin that was once just a part of everyday transactions. But it's a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting works. A small variation, an error, or a unique feature can drastically increase a coin's value, sometimes making it worth more than you could ever imagine. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable error coins? It's actually pretty simple to spot once you know what you're looking for. Start by inspecting the lettering on the coin, especially the "Land of Lincoln" inscription. If you notice that the letters appear to be doubled, even slightly, there's a good chance you found the coveted doubled die error. You should also examine the overall condition of the coin. A coin that has been kept in great shape, free from scratches or discoloration, will be worth much more than one that has been worn down from circulation. If you think you might have one of these rare coins, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a certified numismatic expert. A coin's grade plays a huge role in determining its value, and a higher grade will significantly increase the price. Coins that are graded as MS, mint state, or PR, proof, typically command the highest prices. Now, you might be wondering if all Illinois 2003 quarters are worth this much. Unfortunately, no. Only those with the double die error and in excellent condition are going to bring in a price like that. But even if you don't have a rare error coin, it's still worth keeping an eye on your collection. You never know when you might come across a hidden gem that could significantly increase in value over time. So, to all the coin collectors out there, check your Illinois quarters carefully, you might have a treasure waiting for you. And remember, this quarter is just one example of how a small error or unique feature can turn a simple coin into a valuable collector's item. Who knows what other hidden treasures are out there, waiting to be discovered? Top 3, we've got a truly exciting discovery to share with you, a coin that may look like just another quarter in your pocket, but in reality, it could be worth far more than you might imagine. We're talking about the United States Massachusetts 2000 quarter dollar, a coin that's been gaining attention for its rarity and value among collectors. Stick around until the end of the video, and I'll reveal just how much this little piece of history could be worth today. To set the stage, let's take a step back in time to the year 2000. The U.S. Mint was in the middle of its landmark 50-state quarters program, which was launched in 1999. The program honored each state in the Union with its own unique quarter design, and these coins were released in the order that each state joined the Union. The Massachusetts quarter, which was released in 2000, was one of the early designs and quickly became a favorite among collectors. If you take a look at this coin, you'll see that it features an iconic image of the Minuteman statue, a symbol of Massachusetts' pivotal role in American history, particularly during the Revolutionary War. The Minuteman, who is depicted in the design, represents the quick action and courage of the American colonists who were ready to fight for their freedom at a moment's notice. The coin also features the year 1620, commemorating the year the Pilgrims arrived in Plymouth, Massachusetts. The inscription, "The Bay State," pays homage to Massachusetts' nickname, and the coin captures a deep sense of pride and history that's unique to the state. It's a beautiful coin, no doubt, but what sets it apart from other state quarters is the potential hidden value it holds. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this particular Massachusetts quarter so special? Well, like many coins, the value is not just about the design but also the rarity, condition, and any unique features or errors that may exist. The Massachusetts 2000 quarter, in particular, is worth more than most collectors might expect, especially if you happen to have one of the rarer versions. While most of these quarters were produced in large quantities and circulated widely, some were struck with minting errors that make them incredibly rare. In fact, certain Massachusetts quarters from 2000 have been found with unique characteristics that make them stand out from the rest. The most notable of these is a particular error where the coin's design was misaligned during the minting process, causing the imagery to be off-center. This slight variation, while subtle to the untrained eye, is highly sought after by serious collectors. So, what makes this error so valuable? It all comes down to the rarity of the coin. The United States Mint produces millions of coins each year, and most of them are perfectly minted. However, when an error occurs, it's usually a small mistake that doesn't affect the majority of coins. These errors are the ones that make certain coins stand out, and because they are so rare, they are much more valuable. When a coin with an error like this is found in excellent condition, its value can increase dramatically. Now, let's talk about condition. As with any collectible, the condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. A coin that has been well preserved, with sharp details and no visible wear, is far more valuable than a coin that's been heavily circulated and worn down over time. This is why coins that are found in uncirculated or near-perfect condition are highly coveted by collectors. If you happen to have one of these Massachusetts 2000 quarters that is in mint condition, the value can soar far above the typical value of a circulated coin. But here's where things get really exciting. If you happen to own one of these rare Massachusetts 2000 quarters with the minting error, and it's in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin that's worth an impressive amount of money. Hold on to your seats, because these error coins have been known to sell for as much as $50,000, yes, you heard me right, $50,000 for a single Massachusetts 2000 quarter. That's an extraordinary sum for a coin that was once just a part of your pocket change. It's a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting works. A small, rare error can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into a valuable treasure, and it's all about spotting those unique characteristics that set it apart from the rest. Now, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare coins? The most important thing to look for is the misalignment error I mentioned earlier. If you notice that the design seems slightly off-center or there's an uneven spacing of the lettering or images, it could be a sign that you found one of these valuable error coins. The error is typically most noticeable on the edges of the coin, where you'll see the design shift or double dot. If you think you found one of these rare Massachusetts 2000 quarters, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a certified coin grading expert. A higher grade will dramatically increase the value of the coin, and you'll be able to get a clearer picture of just how much it could be worth in today's market. So, what should you do if you think you've got a treasure on your hands? First, take great care of the coin. Avoid cleaning it, as this can decrease its value. Store it in a safe place, away from moisture and extreme temperatures. And if you're really serious about selling or valuing your coin, consider having it professionally appraised and graded. You never know, what may seem like a simple coin could turn into a small fortune. So, take a good look at your coin collection, check your pocket change, and you might just have a rare Massachusetts 2000 quarter with a minting error hidden away. And if you do, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth $50,000. Top 4. We're diving into the fascinating world of US coins with a special focus on a gem that might be sitting right in your pocket or coin collection, the Ohio 2002 quarter dollar. At first glance, this might seem like just another state quarter, but there's more to it than meets the eye. In fact, this coin could be worth a lot more than you might think. Stick with me through this video as we explore what makes this particular quarter so valuable and how much it could potentially be worth today. To understand why the Ohio 2002 quarter is so valuable, let's take a quick trip back to the early 2000s when the U.S. Mint was rolling out the 50 state quarters program. The idea was to honor each of the 50 states with a special quarter that would be released in order of statehood. When Ohio's quarter was released in 2002, it was part of the 6th year of the program, and it was met with excitement from collectors across the country. The design on the reverse of the coin features an image of the Wright brothers' first airplane flight, which took place in Ohio in 1903. The coin also displays the state's nickname, birthplace of aviation, and the year of Ohio's statehood, 1803. The Ohio quarter was a tribute to a pivotal moment in American history, the dawn of powered flight. It's not only a beautiful coin but also one that captures an important milestone in technological progress. The design itself is rich in meaning and significance, making this quarter a wonderful piece of U.S. history. But as we all know, the value of a coin goes beyond just its design. The real value lies in its rarity, condition, and, sometimes, special characteristics or errors that set it apart from the rest. Like many other state quarters, the Ohio quarter was minted in large quantities. Most of them were used in daily transactions and circulated widely. However, there's a specific variety of this coin that's worth significantly more, particularly when it has a unique error. Some of the Ohio quarters were struck with a minting mistake that makes them incredibly rare and highly valuable to collectors. One of the most sought-after versions is a coin with a doubled die error. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a doubled die error? Essentially, a doubled die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts during the minting process. This results in parts of the design appearing to be doubled or slightly offset. With the Ohio quarter, the doubling effect is most often seen in the lettering and details of the design. For instance, the inscription, "Birthplace of Aviation," might appear slightly doubled or have a blurry, ghost-like effect in certain areas of the text. While this might seem like a small error, it's one that makes the coin much more valuable due to its rarity, but it's not just the error that makes this coin stand out, it's the condition. A coin that's been circulated, worn, and used in daily transactions will obviously have a lower value than one that's been carefully preserved. Coins in mint or uncirculated condition are much more desirable and can command much higher prices. So, if you happen to find an Ohio 2002 quarter with a double die error in pristine condition, you could be holding on to something truly valuable. Now, you might be asking, how much could this rare coin be worth? The answer might surprise you. If you have one of these Ohio 2002 quarters with the double die error, and it's in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin worth a small fortune. In fact, these error coins have been known to fetch as much as $45,000, yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single Ohio 2002 quarter. That's a staggering amount of money for what seems like just another state quarter. It's an amazing example of how the value of coins can skyrocket when you find the right combination of rarity, error, and condition. But how can you tell if you've got one of these rare error coins? The first thing to look for is the doubling in the design. Examine the lettering closely, especially in the words, "Birthplace of Aviation," and around the edges of the imagery. If the text looks like it's been struck twice or has a blurry, shadowed effect, you may have found one of these rare double die error coins. It's also worth noting that these coins are usually much harder to find in uncirculated condition, so if you happen to come across one in excellent shape, it's even more valuable. If you think you've got a potential treasure on your hands, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a certified coin grading expert. The grade of the coin plays a significant role in its market value, and a higher grade will ensure that you're getting the most money possible for your rare coin. Now, let's talk about what you should do if you find one of these valuable Ohio 2002 quarters. First and foremost, handle the coin with care. Avoid cleaning it, as cleaning a coin can actually decrease its value. Store it in a safe, dry place, away from direct sunlight and moisture. And, if you're serious about selling or appraising the coin, consider getting it graded by a professional. A higher grade will help you fetch top dollar for your find. So, next time you're going through your coin collection or sorting through spare change, make sure to give the Ohio 2002 quarters a closer look. You might just have a rare error coin on your hands that could be worth a lot more than you expected. It's amazing how small details can make such a big difference in the value of a coin. Top 5, we're talking about a coin that could be sitting in your collection or even tucked away in your spare change, a coin that might be worth a whole lot more than you think. We're talking about the United States New Jersey 1999 quarter dollar. Yes, you heard me right. A simple quarter, but one that's potentially worth thousands of dollars. Stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why this coin could make you a small fortune. To start things off, let's take a look back at 1999. That year, the United States Mint launched the 50-State Quarters program, a project that quickly became a sensation among coin collectors. The program, which began in 1999 and lasted for 10 years, featured a unique quarter for each state, and New Jersey was the third state in line to have its very own quarter released. Each of these state quarters had a special design that reflected an important aspect of that state's history, culture, or landmarks. And the New Jersey 1999 quarter was no exception. The design on the reverse side of the coin is nothing short of amazing. It features a depiction of George Washington crossing the Delaware River, a moment in American history that's forever etched into the nation's memory. This iconic scene represents the leadership and bravery of Washington during the Revolutionary War, a time when the future of the United States was at stake. The coin also includes the state's name, New Jersey, along with the state's nickname, the Garden State, paying tribute to its rich agricultural heritage. All in all, the New Jersey 1999 quarter is a beautiful piece of American history and a symbol of the state's crucial role in shaping the nation. While the New Jersey quarter might have seemed like just another commemorative coin at the time of its release, over the years, it has caught the eye of collectors for one important reason: rarity. Although millions of these quarters were produced by the U.S. Mint, some of them have unique characteristics that make them much more valuable than the average coin. And one of the key factors that determines the value of a coin is its condition. Most of the New Jersey 1999 quarters that were released into circulation have seen wear and tear over the years, but if you're lucky enough to have one that's been kept in pristine condition, it could be worth a small fortune. But it's not just about finding a quarter in good shape. Some New Jersey 1999 quarters have a rare and highly sought-after minting error that makes them even more valuable. One such error that has captured the attention of collectors is the double die error. In case you're wondering, a double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts during the minting process, causing the design to appear doubled or misaligned. The New Jersey quarter, in particular, has been known to have this error, and it can be spotted on the inscriptions and even the imagery. In the case of the New Jersey 1999 quarter, you'll most likely notice the doubled effect in the text or the state outline. If you take a close look at the New Jersey inscription or the stars surrounding the design, you might spot some noticeable doubling or ghosting, where the letters or numbers seem to overlap or appear blurry. This subtle but distinctive flaw is what makes the coin stand out from the rest. And if you happen to have one of these rare, double die error coins, you could be in possession of a highly coveted piece of numismatic history. Now, let's talk about the real question on everyone's mind: how much could this coin actually be worth? Well, the value of a coin depends on several factors: its rarity, its condition, and its demand in the collector's market. While a typical New Jersey 1999 quarter might not be worth much more than its face value, a rare double die error coin in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch a significant price. In fact, some of these error coins have sold for as much as $55,000, yes, you heard that right, $55,000 for a single New Jersey 1999 quarter with the double die error. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. This is a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting works. A small mistake in the minting process, combined with rarity in excellent condition, can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into a collector's dream and a valuable asset. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare error coins? It's actually not that difficult to spot, once you know what you're looking for. Start by inspecting the lettering on the coin, especially around the words, New Jersey, and the Garden State. If the text appears to be doubled or has a blurry effect, that's a good indication that you may have found an error coin. You can also check the stars around the design to see if they have the same doubled or misaligned effect. Once you've identified the error, the next step is to check the condition of the coin. Coins that are well preserved and show no signs of wear are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. If your coin looks like it's been kept in great condition, without scratches, discoloration, or other damage, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Coins that are graded as MS, mint state, or PR, proof, are typically the most valuable, and having your coin professionally graded by a certified numismatic expert can give you a more accurate assessment of its worth. If you think you found a rare New Jersey 1999 quarter with the double die error, congratulations. You could be holding onto a piece of history that could bring in a substantial amount of money. Just be sure to keep the coin in excellent condition and, if you're considering selling it, make sure to have it appraised and graded by a professional. In conclusion, the New Jersey 1999 quarter may have started off as just another coin in circulation, but over the years, it has turned into a highly sought-after collectible. If you happen to have one of these rare, error coins in your collection, you could be holding onto a treasure worth $55,000. So, the next time you're sorting through your change or going through your coin collection, take a closer look at those New Jersey quarters. You never know, you might just find a valuable gem. Top 6. We've got an exciting discovery that could potentially make your collection worth a lot more than you think. If you're someone who loves exploring rare coins, or if you just enjoy learning about hidden treasures, then this video is definitely for you. Today, we're focusing on a specific U.S. quarter that many people may overlook, the Perry's Victory 2013 quarter dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter, but trust me, this coin is much more than that. You might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Stay tuned as we dive deep into this coin's history, design, and, most importantly, its potential value. Let's go back to 2013, a year that marked the release of a special coin in the U.S. Mint's America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program, launched in 2010, was designed to celebrate and honor America's national parks and monuments, with a unique quarter dedicated to each one. In 2013, the Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial Quarter was introduced to commemorate Perry's famous naval victory in the Battle of Lake Erie, which took place during the War of 1812. The battle was a pivotal moment in American history and helped secure the nation's independence and sovereignty. The Perry's Victory Quarter beautifully captures the essence of that historic moment. The reverse of the coin features an image of the Perry's Victory Memorial, an impressive structure located on South Base Island in Ohio. The memorial was built to honor those who fought and died in the Battle of Lake Erie, and it stands as a symbol of peace and cooperation among the nations involved. The design is both powerful and elegant, with a representation of the memorial's tall columns rising into the sky. The coin also features the inscription, Perry's Victory, alongside the year 1813, to mark the 200th anniversary of the battle. Now, this coin may seem like a straightforward commemorative piece, but it has a few key factors that make it stand out in the world of coin collecting. First, let's talk about the rarity of the coin. While millions of these Perry's Victory quarters were minted, not all of them are in pristine condition. Like most coins, the value of this quarter is determined by its condition, with uncirculated coins fetching a significantly higher price than those that have been circulated and worn down over time. But there's more to this coin than just condition. Some of the 2013 Perry's Victory quarters were struck with an error during the minting process, and these error coins can be worth a lot more than their regular counterparts. One of the most well-known and valuable errors that has been found on this quarter is the double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry in certain areas. With the Perry's Victory quarter, you might notice the doubling in the inscription, Perry's Victory, or even in the columns of the memorial itself. This error, though subtle, is highly sought after by collectors because it makes the coin much rarer and more unique than a regular, non-error coin. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is this coin actually worth? Well, if you happen to have one of these rare Perry's Victory quarters with the double die error, and it's in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a significant increase in value. Coins with these types of errors have been known to fetch impressive prices at auction, and the more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. In fact, depending on the condition and the rarity of the error, a Perry's Victory quarter with the double die could be worth as much as $15,000, yes, you heard me right, $15,000 for a single quarter. That's a pretty incredible amount for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. It goes to show how the world of coin collecting works, where a small flaw during the minting process, combined with rarity and condition, can turn a simple coin into a valuable treasure. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable error coins? The first step is to examine the design closely, especially around the inscription, Perry's Victory. Look for any signs of doubling or misalignment. You might also want to inspect the columns of the memorial, as the double die error can sometimes be visible in these areas as well. If you spot any doubling, then you might be holding onto something truly valuable. Once you've identified a possible error coin, the next step is to check its condition. Coins that have been well preserved and are free of scratches, dirt, or discoloration are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. A coin that's graded as mint state or proof will usually have a higher market value, so if your Perry's Victory Quarter is in excellent condition, you may have a small treasure on your hands. If you believe you found a rare Perry's Victory Quarter with the double die error, it's always a good idea to have the coin professionally graded by a certified expert. A higher grade can significantly boost the coin's value and give you a clearer understanding of what it's worth in today's market. Many collectors seek out coins that are graded at a high level, as these coins are considered to be in the best possible condition. Now, what should you do if you think you found one of these rare coins? First, handle it with care. Don't clean the coin, as this can decrease its value. Keep it in a safe place, away from moisture and extreme temperatures. If you're considering selling the coin, or just want a professional opinion on its value, getting it graded by a reputable company is a wise step. The grading process will provide you with a precise estimate of the coin's worth and allow you to make informed decisions about selling or holding onto it. In conclusion, the Perry's Victory 2013 quarter dollar is far more than just a commemorative coin. It's a piece of American history that holds the potential for some serious value, especially if you find a rare error coin in uncirculated condition. And if you happen to own one of these rare error coins, you could be sitting on a coin worth $15,000. Top 7. We're diving into the world of the New Hampshire 2000 quarter dollar, a coin that may seem like a simple piece of currency at first glance, but trust me, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, you'll want to stick around because we're about to explore the incredible value and fascinating history behind this coin. You might just be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Let's set the stage for this remarkable coin. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, a series of coins designed to honor each of the 50 states, and New Hampshire was the 9th state to be honored in the collection. Released in 2000, the New Hampshire quarter features a beautiful design that reflects the state's rich history and natural beauty. The coin was created to celebrate the state's heritage, including its deep connection to the American Revolution and its breathtaking landscape. On the reverse of the coin, you'll find a depiction of the Old Man of the Mountain, a famous rock formation in the White Mountains. For centuries, this natural wonder was one of New Hampshire's most iconic landmarks, and the design on the quarter captures it perfectly. The image shows the face of the Old Man of the Mountain carved into the side of a cliff, a symbol of the state's rugged beauty and its enduring spirit. The coin also includes the phrase, "Live free or die," which is the state's official motto, further emphasizing New Hampshire's strong sense of independence and freedom. While the New Hampshire 2000 quarter might seem like a lovely piece of state history, its value goes beyond the design and the historical symbolism. Like all state quarters, the New Hampshire coin was minted in large quantities and released into circulation, which means that most of them have been used in daily transactions. Over time, many of these quarters have suffered from wear and tear, reducing their value. However, this doesn't mean that every New Hampshire quarter is worth only 25 cents. Some of these coins have unique characteristics that make them stand out, and those coins can be worth a lot more. What makes the New Hampshire 2000 quarter so special is the potential for errors or rare varieties that can dramatically increase its value. Coin errors are often highly sought after by collectors because they are rare and unique, making them more valuable than coins that were struck perfectly. One of the most common errors that can be found on the New Hampshire quarter is a double die error. So, what is a double die error? It occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, causing part of the design to appear doubled. This can happen with any part of the coin, but with the New Hampshire quarter, collectors often look for doubling in the lettering or on the face of the Old Man of the Mountain. When the doubling effect is subtle, it can be tricky to spot, but with a keen eye and a magnifying glass, you may just discover that you have a rare error coin on your hands. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much can this coin actually be worth? While a typical New Hampshire 2000 quarter might only be worth its face value of 25 cents, a coin that has a doubled die error or is in excellent uncirculated condition can fetch significantly higher prices. Error coins are often worth more because they are unique, and their rarity adds a lot of value to collectors. If you happen to find a New Hampshire 2000 quarter with a double die error, or if you have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin worth much more than you ever imagined. In fact, some of these error coins have been known to sell for as much as $45,000. Yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single quarter. That's a pretty impressive amount for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. It's incredible how the value of a coin can rise so dramatically just because of a small flaw or error that makes it rare and collectible. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable error coins? The key is to examine the design closely. Look for any signs of doubling in the letters or the artwork, especially around the inscription, "Live Free or Die," or along the face of the Old Man of the Mountain. If you notice any ghosting or overlapping in these areas, that's a clear sign of a double die error. Additionally, coins in pristine condition, meaning they've never been circulated or show minimal signs of wear, are also worth much more than their more common counterparts. If your New Hampshire quarter has no scratches, discoloration, or damage, and it looks almost brand new, that will only increase its value. If you find a New Hampshire 2000 quarter that you suspect may be an error coin or is in excellent condition, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Grading is a process in which an expert examines the coin and assigns it a score based on its condition, rarity, and other factors. A higher grade means the coin is in better condition and is worth more, so getting it professionally graded can ensure that you get the highest value possible for your coin. So, now you're probably wondering, what should you do if you find one of these rare error coins? First, it's important to handle it with care. Don't clean the coin, as this can decrease its value. Simply store it in a safe place, such as a coin holder or protective sleeve, to avoid any damage. If you're thinking of selling the coin, it's a good idea to get it appraised by a professional or take it to a reputable coin dealer to get an estimate of its worth. The higher the grade and condition of the coin, the more money you can make from it. In conclusion, the New Hampshire 2000 quarter is much more than just a commemorative piece, it's a potential goldmine for coin collectors. If you have a New Hampshire quarter with a double die error or one that's in pristine condition, it could be worth a small fortune. Don't overlook this little coin, it could be worth as much as $45,000. Top 8, we've got something special for you. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, you're going to want to hear about this coin. We're talking about the United States of America Wyoming 2007 quarter dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another state quarter, but trust me, this particular coin could be worth far more than you might think. If you've got one of these in your collection, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Stick around as we uncover the value and unique history behind this quarter. Let's dive into the fascinating story behind this coin. The Wyoming 2007 quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which was launched back in 1999. This program honored each of the 50 states with its own unique quarter, released over a 10-year period. Wyoming's quarter was released in 2007, and it was the 44th coin in the series. It was designed to reflect the state's rich history and natural beauty, capturing an iconic image that is instantly recognizable to many. On the reverse side of the Wyoming 2007 quarter, you'll see an image of a bucking horse and rider. This design is a tribute to Wyoming's long-standing tradition of rodeo and its deep connection to cowboy culture. The bucking bronco represents the thrill and skill of rodeo sports, which are an integral part of the state's identity. This design was inspired by Wyoming's famous rodeo events, as well as the state's reputation as a haven for outdoor enthusiasts and people who love the open frontier. What makes the Wyoming 2007 quarter truly fascinating is that it's part of a larger program that celebrated America's history, culture, and landscape. But even though millions of these coins were released into circulation, there's something more to this particular quarter than just its historical significance. Many collectors may not realize that some of these coins have features that make them exceptionally valuable. Like most coins, the Wyoming 2007 quarter's value is determined by factors such as rarity, condition, and whether it has any minting errors. Let's talk about what could make your Wyoming 2007 quarter stand out. One key factor that collectors look for in coins is minting errors. Coins that have errors, whether it's a doubled die, off-center strikes, or other issues, are often far more valuable than their perfectly struck counterparts. These errors occur during the production process, and when they happen, they make a coin one of a kind. And when it comes to the Wyoming 2007 quarter, some of the most sought-after errors are double die errors. What is a double die error, you ask? Well, it happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, resulting in a design that's doubled or misaligned. This could appear in the lettering, such as the state name, Wyoming, or the equality state, or even in the horse and rider design. These doubled images are subtle but can add a significant amount of value to a coin because they're so rare. Imagine finding a coin where the Wyoming lettering appears twice or has a ghosted effect. That's exactly what collectors are looking for. It's not just the minting errors that make the Wyoming 2007 quarter so intriguing, though. The coin's overall condition is just as important. Most of the Wyoming quarters you'll come across in circulation have been worn down over time, making them worth only face value. However, if you manage to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, the value could increase substantially. These coins are usually well preserved and free from scratches, discoloration, or any signs of heavy use. Coins in uncirculated condition are far rarer, especially as time goes on and more of them get circulated. So, how much could your Wyoming 2007 quarter be worth if it's in excellent condition, or even better, if it has a minting error? Well, this is where things get exciting. While a typical Wyoming quarter might only be worth its face value of 25 cents, a rare coin, whether due to a minting error or excellent preservation, can fetch far higher prices. In fact, some of these coins have been known to sell for as much as $35,000. Yes, you heard that right, $35,000 for a single quarter. Isn't that incredible? What started as a coin worth just 25 cents can turn into a small treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars if it has the right characteristics. And the best part is that these error coins are not as common as you might think, which is what makes them so highly sought after by collectors. So, if you've got one of these rare coins in your collection, you might be holding on to something extremely valuable. Now, let's talk about how you can identify if you found one of these rare Wyoming 2007 quarters. First, take a close look at the coin's design. Pay particular attention to the Wyoming inscription, the horse, and the rider. If you see any signs of doubling, whether it's in the lettering or the artwork, that's a clear indication that the coin may have a double die error. Another thing to look for is any misalignment in the design, where part of the image appears to be slightly off-center or shifted. Once you've identified a possible error coin, the next step is to check its condition. Coins that are in excellent condition and free of wear are much more valuable than those that have been circulated extensively. If your coin is in mint state, meaning it's been well preserved and looks as if it was just released by the US Mint, then you're in luck. The value of a coin increases dramatically when it's in top condition. If you think you've found one of these rare error coins, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Coin grading is the process by which experts assess the condition of a coin and assign it a grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins with grades of MS, mint state, or PR, proof, are the most valuable, and getting your coin professionally graded can help you determine its true worth in today's market. If you believe you've got a Wyoming 2007 quarter with a rare minting error or in great condition, don't hesitate to have it appraised. You could be holding onto a small fortune. Whether you decide to keep it for your collection or sell it, you'll definitely want to know its true value before making any decisions. In conclusion, the Wyoming 2007 quarter is much more than just a commemorative coin. It's a potential treasure waiting to be discovered. Whether you find a rare minting error or a coin in pristine condition, the value of this quarter can soar well beyond its face value. If you've got a Wyoming 2007 quarter in your collection, it could be worth as much as $35,000. Top 9, we've got an exciting video lined up for you, especially if you're into rare and valuable coins. We're going to dive deep into the world of one of the most fascinating coins in the U.S. Mint's history, the United States Delaware 1999 quarter. This particular coin might just look like another regular state quarter, but trust me, it's far from ordinary. The Delaware 1999 quarter is not only rich in history but also has the potential to bring in a pretty penny for those lucky enough to find one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error. If you want to know just how much it could be worth, stick around until the end, because the number will definitely surprise you. Let's start with a bit of background. The Delaware 1999 quarter is the very first coin released in the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, which began in 1999 and ran through 2008. This program was designed to celebrate each of the 50 states with their own unique quarter, and Delaware had the honor of being the first. As the first state to join the Union in 1787, Delaware's place in American history is a significant one, and the quarter reflects that proud heritage. On the reverse side of the Delaware quarter, you'll see a striking design that honors the state's history and its contributions to the birth of the United States. The coin features an image of the Delaware coat of arms, which is flanked by two figures, a farmer and a soldier. These figures represent the state's agricultural and military contributions. The motto, "The First State," is also included on the coin, emphasizing Delaware's historic role as the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. But the Delaware 1999 quarter is more than just a beautiful design. It's a coin that's caught the attention of collectors and investors alike due to its potential for errors and rarity. Like many other state quarters, this coin was produced in large numbers and widely circulated. However, that doesn't mean it's easy to find one in pristine condition. Most of the quarters you'll come across today have been worn down over time and are worth little more than face value. But if you happen to find one that's been well preserved or contains a minting error, it could be worth far more. Now, let's get into what makes the Delaware 1999 quarter truly special: minting errors. Coins with errors can be much more valuable than those without, especially if the error is rare or unique. One of the most notable errors for the Delaware 1999 quarter is the famous spitting horse error. This error occurs when excess metal from the coin's die splashes up onto the horse's face, creating the appearance of the horse spitting. This minting mistake is incredibly rare, and when collectors find one of these error coins, they know they have something special on their hands. The spitting horse error is extremely sought after, and it's one of the reasons why the Delaware 1999 quarter has gained so much attention in the coin collecting world. The flaw is subtle, but when you look closely at the horse's mouth, you'll see what appears to be a droplet or streak of metal. This is the result of the minting process gone wrong, and while it may look like a small mistake, it actually makes the coin incredibly valuable. In addition to the spitting horse error, another factor that can increase the value of a Delaware 1999 quarter is its condition. Like any coin, the better the condition, the higher its value. A coin that's in uncirculated, mint condition is far rarer than one that has been heavily circulated, so if you happen to come across a Delaware quarter that looks like it just came from the U.S. Mint, you could be holding on to something worth a lot more than 25 cents. These pristine examples are highly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a coin that looks as if it were just struck yesterday. So, let's talk about how much this coin could actually be worth. If you find a Delaware 1999 quarter with a minting error, specifically the spitting horse, or if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, the value can skyrocket. While most of these quarters are only worth their face value of 25 cents, a rare error coin or a high-grade example could be worth much more. In fact, some of these error coins have been known to sell for as much as $53,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $53,000 for a single quarter. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that was originally worth just a quarter. And the best part? These error coins are rare, but they are still out there waiting to be found by sharp-eyed collectors like you. So, how do you know if you found one of these rare Delaware 1999 quarters? The key is to inspect the design closely, especially around the horse's face. Look for the spitting error, a small streak or droplet of metal coming from the horse's mouth. If you find this, you've got a rare minting error on your hands. If you don't spot the error but the coin is in pristine condition with no signs of wear or damage, it could still be worth a considerable amount due to its excellent grade. Once you think you've found a valuable Delaware 1999 quarter, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Coin grading is an expert process in which a coin is examined and assigned a grade based on its condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. A coin that is graded as MS 65 or higher, mint state 65, can command a premium price, especially if it's rare or has a unique error like the spitting horse. So, if you think you've found a high-value coin, it's worth getting it professionally graded to determine its true worth. If you happen to come across a Delaware 1999 quarter with the spitting horse error or one that's in excellent condition, don't hesitate to have it appraised. You could be sitting on a valuable treasure. Whether you decide to hold on to the coin for your collection or sell it, knowing its true value could make a big difference. In conclusion, the Delaware 1999 quarter is a great example of how something as small as a coin can be worth much more than it seems. With its rich history, beautiful design, and the potential for rare minting errors, it's a quarter that's caught the attention of collectors around the world. If you have one of these coins in your collection, or if you happen to find one, you could be holding on to a valuable piece of history that's worth as much as $53,000. Top 10, and last rare state quarters. We're about to talk about a coin that might just be hiding in your collection or even in your pocket right now, the United States Virginia 2000 quarter. Now, you might think it's just another state quarter, but trust me, this particular coin could be worth far more than you think. Stay with me until the end, where I'll reveal just how much this quarter could bring if you've got the right one in your hands. The Virginia 2000 quarter is part of the highly popular 50-state quarters program that was launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999. The program was designed to honor each of the 50 states, one by one, with their own unique quarter, and Virginia's coin was released in 2000 as the 10th state in the series. Virginia is steeped in American history, and the design on this quarter pays tribute to the state's deep historical roots. On the reverse side of the Virginia 2000 quarter, you'll see a stunning depiction of the state's iconic natural beauty. The design features the image of the Commonwealth's famous colonial capital, Williamsburg, with a silhouette of the statue of George Washington on horseback, capturing the historical significance of the state. Washington, the first president of the United States, is closely tied to Virginia's legacy, and this quarter highlights that connection. You'll also notice the state's motto, "Virginia is for lovers," which is one of the most recognizable state slogans in the U.S. today. It's a quarter that perfectly encapsulates the state's rich cultural and historical legacy. Now, while the Virginia 2000 quarter may appear to be just a beautiful state quarter, there's a lot more going on under the surface, especially when it comes to its value. Like most coins, its worth is determined by a few key factors: rarity, condition, and any potential minting errors. And when it comes to the Virginia 2000 quarter, there's more than one reason why collectors should take a closer look. Let's talk about the first factor, condition. Like any coin, if the Virginia 2000 quarter is in pristine condition, it's going to be much more valuable than one that's been worn and circulated heavily. Over the years, millions of these quarters have passed through many hands, and most have suffered from the wear and tear that comes with daily use. A coin that has been carefully preserved, free from scratches, discoloration, and other damage, is far rarer than a well-worn one. So, if you happen to have a Virginia 2000 quarter in mint state, meaning it looks as if it just came out of the U.S. Mint, you're in luck. A coin in uncirculated condition could fetch a much higher price, especially if it's still in its original packaging or hasn't been handled much. But it's not just condition that can make the Virginia 2000 quarter so valuable, it's also the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, and these errors can make a coin extremely valuable. For example, some of the Virginia 2000 quarters were struck with double dies, where the design was stamped twice, creating a blurry or doubled effect in the image or lettering. Double dies are highly sought after because they are very rare and are considered major mistakes in the minting process. So how do you know if you have a Virginia 2000 quarter with a minting error? The most common error you'll want to watch out for is the double die. To check for a double die error, carefully inspect the design and the lettering on the coin. The lettering or image may appear slightly blurry, doubled, or offset. The double die error usually happens on the inscription of Virginia or the Old Dominion, so keep an eye out in these areas. A coin with a noticeable double die error could be worth much more than a regular quarter, especially if it's in excellent condition. Another thing to look out for when evaluating the value of your Virginia 2000 quarter is the possibility of a misaligned die. A misaligned die error occurs when the die that strikes the coin is out of place, leading to a coin with an off-center design. While this error is less common, it can make a coin extremely valuable if the misalignment is obvious. If you find a Virginia 2000 quarter that appears off-center or has a design that's shifted from where it should be, you might be holding a rare and valuable coin. So, how much could your Virginia 2000 quarter be worth if it has a minting error or is in excellent condition? Here's the exciting part. Some of these rare coins have been known to sell for as much as $50,000. Yes, you read that right, $50,000 for a single coin. That's a huge amount of money for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. What may seem like a small and insignificant coin can turn into a small fortune if it has the right characteristics. So, if you've come across a Virginia 2000 quarter, take a moment to carefully examine it. Look for any signs of a minting error, especially the double die or a misaligned die. Inspect the condition. If it's uncirculated and has been well preserved, that alone could add significant value. Even if there are no obvious errors, if the coin is in great shape, it could still be worth much more than its face value. Once you think you've found a valuable Virginia 2000 quarter, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded. Coin grading is the process of having experts assess a coin's condition and assign it a grade, which helps determine its value. Coins in higher grades are worth much more than those with lower grades, so it's important to have a professional examine your coin to get an accurate understanding of its worth. In conclusion, the Virginia 2000 quarter is much more than just a piece of currency, it's a potential treasure waiting to be discovered. Whether you found one with a minting error, or it's in pristine condition, this coin could be worth far more than you might have expected. So, if you've got a Virginia 2000 quarter tucked away in your collection, or if you come across one in your change, take a closer look. It could be worth as much as $50,000. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you found this information useful and exciting. If you've ever found a rare coin or have any other stories about valuable coins in your collection, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future coin adventures. Happy collecting, and good luck on your coin hunt.